to lose, man, because you're not serious about the times that we're in. You just want to be deep and cute. Okay? This shit ain't cute, man. I was on my way to work the other morning. I said, this shit is not cute. We got to get out of here, man. And getting out of here is going to come through hard work and labor. And it's going to happen anyway, but there's a spirit that we're going to be in, man, the minute of the Lord. Go ahead.
Yeah, this 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 3. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling.
Apostle Paul, he talked about how he had a thorn in his flesh, man. And I was watching the brothers from Jersey the other day, or last night, I think. They went into the word thorn. So he could have had like sciatica, he could have had, you know what I'm saying, like a nerve issue, whatever it may have been. But the Lord gave him that to kind of humble him, because he was so much revealed to him, he had to calm, the Lord had to slow him down. So when Paul came, he was probably limping, you know what I'm saying, just had a regular look to him. You read the letters, you like, wow, Paul, this Paul. Then you see him, you like, this is Paul. Right. That's how it was. Yeah. The minute of the Lord, when people walk up on us and see us, yeah, there's power, we got a glow about us. But at the end of the day, we're just regular dudes. Knee hurting. Okay? Yeah, I thought the brother was tall. Make it to the NBA and shit. I'm like, damn, the brother was making it to the league. And then I see him, it's like, oh shit. You see? And Jake looks at that. They want you to have this, glorious. They want you to float on a cloud, and no, we're just regular men. That's the name that face the shine. Right. Right. That's where the power lies. Right? We got real quick, 2 Corinthians 4. We have this treasure. Issachar got the loudest music. I was somewhere the other day. I was like, damn, it's always these niggas. It ain't even true. Issachar with the loud music now. God damn.
2 Corinthians.
That's why Trump will deport you motherfuckers, man.
2 Corinthians 4 and 7. Alright, it reads, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels. In verse 6. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts.
He's shined in our minds. The Most High, through Yahweh Shai, has shined in our minds. All right, the modern day Urim and the Thummim, man, lively stones. Okay? This is how we walk. It's about the light shining in them. See that? We don't need a DNA test. It's about the light shining in that man. All right? Go ahead.
To give the light of knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
There you go. This is all being done in the face of Yahweh Shai, man. Without Yahweh Shai, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing, man. Without Yahweh Shai, we ain't getting out of this new Egypt.
That's what runs us the wrong way. You see these guys get up and go on these platforms, like you said, and put themselves out there. There's never the proper acknowledgement of Yahweh Shai, which shows that the fullness of this gospel hasn't been revealed to them. Because we know that the only way we win is through acknowledging it's the Son, that's the King.
Right.
Verse 7, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God, and not of us.
See that? So the excellency is of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, not us. You see us, man, we're just lowly men. Okay, we live our lives, we do what we got to do in this world. Right? We come together when brothers are in need. We show love. But our goal is to get the hell up out of here. There's nothing glorious about who we are in the flesh. Okay, we're not here to exalt ourselves.
That's right.
Some of you women may think some of us are cute and cool. Choose up. But at the end of the day, the excellency of this whole platform we have goes to Yahweh Shai. That's the work that's being worked through us. Okay.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 2. I'll read verse 3 again. and I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling.
Yeah.
Verse 4. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom.
See that? My speech, my preaching was not with enticing words and man's wisdom. All right, we bring out information. Brothers go in. You know what I'm saying? But when it's all said and done, we're just bringing out the word. We're going into prophecy. All right, we're showing you what John the Revelator saw. We're going into what's going on via the volume of the book. We're not coming with all these big $300 words, man. Okay? Because that's how we've been listening to these dudes. That's what they do. Or they play with emotions. Okay? Go ahead.
Yep. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4, middle of the verse. But in demonstration of the Spirit and of power.
Here you go.
It's 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. All right, it reads, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness.
So the preaching of Yahweh Shai dying on the cross, right? The death, burial, and resurrection, to them that perish is foolishness, man. Okay? It doesn't make sense. It's dumb. You ain't getting no money, nigga. Well, who are you? Dude, Marquette said, what programs have you in? I've donated $600,000 to, just the black women in need of food stamps. I've donated, the hundreds of thousands of dollars to children with missing nipples. You've done everything. I got my own Oreo cookie without everything. You've done everything. But we're talking about Yahweh Shai being raised from the dead. Go ahead.
I mean, it don't make sense to them because they don't see what it leads to. Yahweh Shai being raised from the dead gave us access to immortality at the back end. So people don't realize what he did is going to lead us to a kingdom, dominion over the earth. You ain't changing the world by donating some money to single mamas.
What's his end game? That's our end game.
Yeah, our end game is a righteous people. And when you mention the resurrection, they don't
It's foolishness. It's not, it's like, okay, now what? And then again, that taps into faith.
Yeah.
Being the precious gems of the day, man. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 1 and 18 at the top. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. But unto us which are saved, it is the power of God.
That's the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. And we got to know and understand, as it says in, let's somebody get a 2nd Ezra 15. Go ahead.
Verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
When you go into a lot of these guys with these platforms and doing all these, a lot of them really believe in Esau's pseudoscience.
Yeah, it is.
Like a guy like Charleston White, he makes decent points. All right, we ain't gonna act like because all of these dudes, Marquette, some of them make great points.
Shit.
They have some good talking points. Go ahead. Yeah.
But what?
Yeah.
Call for no brother. He can say some shit sometimes. What he gotta do when it actually all pops up? The only solution to escape it is if you cling onto this. So they can know as much as they want. They can make as many great points if they want. But if it's not led by Yahweh Shai, they lose.
Right. And then when a lot of them then call for an uprising, tries to go into the scriptures, and it's like stop. Don't do that. Anton Daniels tried to go into the scriptures. Like no. He makes some good talking points, but the breaking down of the scriptures is for us, man. Charleston White, he'll make some decent points, but then he'll say Lucy is your ancestor. It's like wait a minute. You said all that to tell me that I used to be a monkey. So if Lucy was here today, we had the cookout. There's a nigga half monkey in the corner making a plate. That's your Auntie Lucy. And that's Esau's pseudoscience, man. Marquette, he still believes in black, white. Okay, he believes that the white man really originated in Europe. No, that was the Japhetic people plan.
Europe was named after Brooklyn.
He's a low-level guy, but again, we're living in an age where a nigga can just press record and become a superstar. See? So the Lord has brought the prophets, all right, which ultimately we started, all right, this internet thing on YouTube. Okay, the prophets that were on the internet before the apostles, Bishop Daniel, and certain other men, right? But when the apostles and elders got on great millstone, that market exploded. That is we were here. We came in 2007 when YouTube wasn't just YouTube. It was just a few people, and Christians were doing what? Using their platform to show their child making the first steps. The little baby walking and fall. No, this is his first steps. The dog barking. You Christians wasn't on the video talking about the end time and the beast. Y'all wasn't talking about that. That's off the labor and the back of the prophets, man. A guy like Charleston White, Anton, all of that is off the back of what we did. But we gotta get that one scripture. Unknown, well known but unknown. Somebody get that. Go ahead.
I didn't even know how to read the Bible until I started listening.
There you go.
I didn't know how to read. I was just reading it, and you get bored.
Yeah.
You know what the hell you started from.
Right.
You had no idea what you was doing.
Right.
Until the elders and apostles put it together for you.
It came alive.
Right.
God.
You read the Bible, he had a face like a serpent and a body like a lion. You like, yeah, man. Because Jesus, you don't know you didn't know what you was talking about, man. You thinking like, damn, he got a costume on? He coming up out of the sea with 7 heads? You didn't know what that was talking about. But now everybody got a Bible in their hand. Everybody is on the internet. Everybody in that car. We started that through the Holy Spirit, man. And we're just vessels chosen, right?
That's that zeal according to knowledge.
Yeah.
So I didn't have zeal according to knowledge until I met the apostle.
See what I'm saying? And now, all around the world, you got people calling themselves Israelites through just a few men on the internet. You mean to tell me the Lord ain't behind that? This ain't prophetic? You got that? Go ahead.
So, 2 Corinthians chapter 6. There's a verse 9, but I'll start at verse 7. In the NLT, it says, we faithfully preach the truth. The Most High's power is working in us. We use the weapons of righteousness in the right hand for attack and the left hand for defense. We serve Yahweh Bashmal Shah, whether people honor us or despise us.
Right.
Whether they slander us or praise us.
Right. Whether they slander us or praise us, man, we going to serve the Lord. And we've been enduring slander. You got to understand, it's getting ready to uptake. All right? Because grape ain't working no more. So they get ready to go to another level.
Right.
They get ready to use the AI. They get ready to take it somewhere else that you're going to have to be rooted in belief. You can look up and see a video of a brother saying something crazy with the garment you know you gave him. You like, wait a minute. It's going to be complete AI.
Right.
These are the times we're going into. That's why certain celebrities now are starting to sue these AI companies for using their faces and images in their videos. Okay? It's coming to a point you're not going to know what to believe. It's on that level now. Go ahead.
God. Verse 8. We serve Yahweh Bashmal Shah, whether people honor us or despise us.
Right.
Whether they slander us or praise us.
Right. Whether they slander us or praise us. Go ahead.
We are honest, but they call us imposters.
Right. We're honest, right? Just preaching the word, but we get called imposters. Like, damn.
That's the same way they did Yahweh Shah. They was loud. So we even giving advice to him on how to deal with it. The pilot asked him, is it true what they say? What did he say? Thou says, hey, he understood nothing could happen unless the Lord okayed it first. He told the pilot what? He said, you don't have no power, so the power that my father gave us. So even as we get lied on and you looking crazy out here, you gotta understand, look, bro, you good.
Right.
You good.
Yeah, when the whole grape thing came out, that was the Lord. He was testing us now. You know what I'm saying? To see if we were really down. Because we know what the scripture said, but look how it was portrayed. And look how it was brought, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, damn. Well, we know what the scriptures say. But they took that whole thing and the clip of the apostles, and they ran with it. And we further expounded on it, but they don't give a damn about it.
They just did it. Fuck that. I want to
Because they need it.
Yeah.
And the Lord was looking at us, you know what I'm saying? It was a test for us to see if we was really down.
And it also, it was a tool that the Lord used to weed out unnecessary people.
Yep.
Because to really get the fullness of the truth, you actually got to lock in and pay attention and listen.
Right.
The surface level Israelite can't really listen to great millstones.
Right?
We're not doing no gimmicks. You really got to pay attention and
Yeah.
read, go behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to get into the scriptures.
Get out of that Western world way of thinking too.
Yep.
That'll hinder you from really getting the breadth of understanding of this thing.
Right.
Man.
Because someone that's sincere is like, oh, okay, then listen, okay, so it's just a law on how to handle it if it happens. And you move on.
That's it.
Niggas are leaving comments, so do y'all believe it's okay to just go rape a woman against her will? No. That ain't what the scriptures is talking about, man.
But it's a law how to deal with it when it happens.
That's it. Let's move on. God damn. The enemy coming and Jake is still stuck out there. Jake ain't even left the dugout. You ain't even got to the plate to swing the goddamn thing.
This song don't know. That's why you Jake again. They don't know what it's about. We're gonna have to judge and rule in the kingdom.
Yeah.
The heathen are still gonna be doing bullshit.
Right.
So it's gonna have to be a law how to deal with everything they do. That's
Everything.
one of them.
Especially for that first 1,000 years, it's gonna take a while to get them in order.
I'm dead
We're
serious.
gonna be judging.
2 Corinthians 6 and 9 NLT is the point. We are ignored even though we are well known.
See, we are ignored, even though we're well known, and they'll never admit, even you other camps. Okay, you'll never admit, because who did the breakdowns of Revelation? What camp, what leaders went into all of the books of Revelation and broke them down thoroughly? Not to say no other camp did it, but who was at the forefront of it? But then Jake will have a breakdown on Revelation 13. The apostles did that, Revelation 5, Revelation 9. The apostles went into all of that, man. You see? So read that again.
God says, verse 9, we are ignored even though we are well known.
We are ignored, even though we are well known. So these big podcast names, okay, really, they're operating off the vibration of this truth, man. Getting on a woman wasn't a popular thing, man. Although the red pill movement has become watered down, it was needed in a sense, right? It's redundant, it's played out, but it was needed. But ultimately, all of that is in the scriptures. The real red pill is here in the scriptures, man. The scriptures get on women. The scriptures get on men. You see what I'm saying? But the way the Bible has been portrayed, you've never heard it or saw it, all right? In the way that it really needed to be brought out until the true men of the Lord came on the scene.
And he especially can't receive from us because we don't necessarily look the part.
Right.
They've been told it will look like.
And we got on dresses, they say.
Yeah, we got to dress it. I want to back you up with that. This is Sirach 13 and 22 for the older. It says, when a rich man is fallen, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 13 and 23. Yeah, it's like it. Sirach 13 and 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue.
But he got money. Millionaire Morning Mondays. You know what I'm saying? Well, we gonna talk about, and there's some decent points. We ain't gonna act like, you know what I'm saying? There's some decent points. So, but we know that this world is falling, but certain brothers got business. Certain brothers are into things, investing, gold, silver. There's nothing wrong with that. But Jake don't think that you have anything worthy to say unless it's moving around the bag.
Which shows they're not really worshipers of Yahweh. They're worshipers of this world.
Man. Yes.
They want this world to continue.
Everybody's broke. The rappers are broke. Actors of Hollywood is broke. You got people, was it Vanessa Williams? Or what's her name? She went to OnlyFans. Stacey Dash?
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash.
I was like, man,
Stacey Dash on OnlyFans.
like 60 years old.
Because these people, they got money, but they just got more bills. So they're just like you, but with more money. More debt. More debt.
Verse 23 at the top. Sirach 13 and 23. It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds.
If Lil Wayne was out here, everybody be surrounded.
Packed.
It'd be packed. We couldn't get down here. Right. See what I'm saying? If Tupac rose from the dead, everybody would be here. Women screaming. They just turned down. They just popped the nigga balloon for being short. But then Tupac comes. This nigga this little, and the woman is screaming. They just popped the nigga balloon for being short. That's how messed up this world is.
Walking around, he got 50 women following.
Yeah.
50 women. Just
Bro,
follow.
they pay this nigga $1,000 for a
To
picture.
take a picture.
That's his weekend money. To take pictures with broke, poor
crazy.
niggas waiting on the tax return. $5,000, nigga.
Ready to be next.
But they won't pay for the meal with their man.
Right. I ain't going to be.
Yeah, I'm not going 50-50, but you'll take a picture with Chris Brown.
Half your check is $1,000.
They don't know they've been taking the part right here now. Let them have it. Go ahead.
Continue on. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man, the prophets, speak, they say, what fellow is this?
Who's this nigga? That's exactly what they say. He's done that. What's his name? Bill Gates. He comes because he's rich. They listening to everything this nigga got to say, man.
He said, trees are bad.
Oh.
You remember he did an interview?
Oh,
He said, trees are bad. This is why we have to cut down trees. And then nobody questioned it. And then he ended his statement. He said, what do you know, leave some people on the internet? Leave it to the experts.
Leave it to the experts.
What the fuck are you talking about?
When that juice came out, rich people would tell him, you did it.
Oh, you remember the Eve with the blonde hair? She said, I'm smoking. I ain't asking for city. I'm sticking my arm. What happened to her? She's in the ground somewhere, bro.
Right, easy. That nigga ain't did an interview since.
Right. Boy.
And a lot of people are being taken back to the spirit world, man. Following the devil, man. He's living in the food now. In the air. Okay?
But the Lord gonna protect those who have faith in Him, right? The scriptures say what? We should eat poison and live.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna be particular people that hey, we were in the same boat you was in, but the Lord was with us. He wasn't with you. So we're gonna be able to get through it. That's the force field that the believers have. There's certain shit, man, that you're gonna be in the same boat with these people, but the Lord gonna get you out of it. That.
Did he say 10,000 should fall like that, right?
Yeah. That's gonna be another thing that people gonna be like, the Lord is with this man. Because there's no way he went through the same things we went through. He's good. It says, it's the bottom of Surah 13 and 22. When the poor man, 23, Surah. It says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow.
That's what they get ready. They're trying to get, they're going to try to help overthrow the Israelites, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's getting ready to go down. But that's how our people are, man. When it comes to being lowly and humble and, bringing out the truth of the matter. Basically, they're like, nigga, shut up. You ain't getting no money. You ain't build nothing. You ain't do nothing. That's what the dude said, Marquette. He's like, he told Cesaria, what have you done? What have you built? Who are you? You know, that's like, what are you talking about?
he was in the same spirit of the Israelites murmuring in the wilderness. I think it's Leviticus 20. Moses went up to the mountain, and they went to Aaron. They said, what fellow is this? Build us a calf. They basically were like, who is this?
Yeah, the calf. The calf. They Jake is worshiping the calf all over again. You see, they're doing it all over again, man. You know? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 16. It said,
Gotta get the bristle, the string, all that.
Let's start with 13.
That's the city.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 13. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city and a few men within it.
Right, so there's a little city and a few men within it. Go ahead.
And there came a great king against it and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. There was
Esau, he took us down, right? Beat the shit out of us. Came with an army, took over your land, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine a nigga come in your kitchen. All right, open your refrigerator, put his food in there, lock it. Lock the refrigerator. It's like, damn, your house put his picture up. Damn.
Stomping them out.
Go ahead.
Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city.
See, the poor wise man by his wisdom delivered the city. Go ahead.
Yet no man remembered that same poor man.
Nobody cared about that man. See that? Go ahead.
Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
Right. The poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words aren't heard, man. And we understand that. We understand that there's going to be a large amount of incredulity. We understand what we're up against, man. And you gotta be at one with it, man. You gotta, there's a point that's true. You gotta love it. It's annoying. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes you be like, I don't not feel like addressing this nigga. I don't feel like talking about the Gentiles. Ain't we already went over that? But there's somebody new that needs to hear it. They don't know how to go and find the whole video. Because all you gotta do is type in what topic you're looking up, GMS this, anytime. It's there. But Jake, Jake, the Lord, no, you do the video. Do it again.
So you were simple when you first came in. You had little moments where you're like, oh, I'm being simple. You know what I mean? So sometimes the Lord wants us to repeat ourselves. The Lord repeats himself.
Redundancy.
Not above repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Correction. There's Exodus 32 where they asked Aaron to make the golden calf. It wasn't Leviticus 2. That's okay.
Exodus 32, yeah. That's the legacy of our people, man, to just rebel, go left, even when miracles are happening right before their eyes. All right? But we, as the scriptures say, harden not your hearts as it is a provocation, man. Somebody got something? Break it down.
God is Philippians 3 in the NOT verse 1. Whatever happens, my dear brothers and sisters, rejoice in the Lord. I never get tired of telling you these things, and I do it to safeguard your faith. Like the elders just speaking about, man, the Spirit, has most normally the apostles has them to be very redundant. It's like no matter, okay, well, I'm gonna go into the Maccabees, today, but somehow, some way, the MOTB always gonna get brought up. Because that's the time and season we in.
I was about to say that Apostle God has a repetition. He always says repetition is the father of skill. So that's how you master something. By practicing over and over and over. What the hell is saying in the world, professionals, they don't do something until they get it right. They do something until they can't get it wrong. You do something to the point to where I can't even mess this up in my time.
Just becomes like embedded. I see y'all.
Did you read that again, bro? Oh, you got it.
I got it. It's Philippians 3 and 1 in the NOT. Whatever happens, my dear brothers and sisters, rejoice in the Lord, Yahweh B'Shemal Rashai. I never get tired of telling you these things, and I do it to safeguard your faith.
To safeguard him. So when you hear something over and over and over, a lot of times you'll encounter particular situations in the world, and that replays in my head. A lot of things that brothers and apostles say replays in my head when I encounter situations. When you're in Jacob's trouble, hearing that message over, you're going to hear particular brothers' voices when you're dealing with the struggle.
Yeah.
When it comes upon you, and it's gonna build you back up. It's gonna boost you. Hold on, I remember what the Lord said. So this is a very necessary thing for us to hear things over and over and over. That was it on that point.
You gotta know.
Okay.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 12. Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though you know them, and be established in the present truth.
This gospel is a great comfort. If you didn't, knowing everything that we know, the only thing that gets us through is knowing that the kingdom of heaven is going to be established. That foresight, that allows us to be, because I have to understand it. This is a depressing state to be in, knowing everything we know. This shit is vexing. But we have that gas in the tank because we know the end of the matter. 2/3 don't know the end. A lot of Israelites don't know the end of the matter, which is why they do the bullshit that they do. But when we're going through adversity, because it's about to get turned up in this place, having to understand, the thorough understanding is going to be a comfort to you and keep going. These people that's been holding on to gimmicks, they don't really understand the prophecies, and they're going to have the gas in the tank when they miss food. Are they going to have the gas in the tank when their family members are turned against them through the media, through the gas and the tank to really push and keep going. No, they're gonna lose. So you can't like the Boston always talks about, oh, these guys, y'all don't like the boring videos, the breakdown videos.
They don't.
They don't like it.
Only a few. You seem really serious.
You seem really serious.
Ain't controversy like they used to say. Jake always want to see a back and forth. Just a shit show. Just Jake want to be entertained.
Yeah.
You know, instead of the sincere nature of learning this thing, man.
Understanding those technicalities is going to allow you not to be lied to, and it's going to allow you to keep going. The basic thing, the mark of the beast, because Jake confuses the mark, the image, and the beast itself, they're going to be fuzzy. When it's put in front of them, they're going to be like, oh, what do I do? For us, it's clear.
They're not going to be comforted by resisting it.
Yes.
You know, we see from straight go open wide.
Say something about
No, you got it. That's it.
It's John chapter 14. I'm gonna get verse 25 and 20. 25, 26. Yep. It says, "These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you." He's speaking to the disciples. They was when you already have to go to their tribulation. He was building them up. Verse 26. "But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you." So while they go through their tribulation and their test, they'll think about how troubles will build up in them. So they'll be able to endure. That's the same thing happening now. The men that the Lord set up, our apostles and elders, they preaching us these various things, and what the Holy Spirit is flowing from them, and it's coming into our minds. So we in our trials, the Holy Spirit is doing the same thing.
Right, brother.
This is Hebrews chapter 2, verse 1. "Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip."
See that? You must give. Read that again.
It says, "Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard."
Right, we've heard how Elisha was fed. You know what I'm saying? About Elijah was fed by what a
Raven.
A raven. You know what I'm saying? You can't just skim
That's
over
a
that.
miracle, man.
Miracles, man. Provision being laid. There was a famine, and the Lord had it set up to where He told Elijah, "Go over here." You know, a woman. You know what I'm saying? He had to where he got water. You know what I'm saying? It was always, these particular things that we're talking about. The Lord fed the children of Israel in the wilderness manner. You don't think that He can do something like that again? We got to take heed to the things that we heard. The resurrection. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot in the scriptures that James is kind of like, all right, whatever. I just want to hear that. Right, but the Lord worked miracles. The Lord said that the elect ain't gonna go without. You gotta. When you read that, you gotta roll on that, man. Like, okay, we ain't gonna. We not gonna go. The Lord ain't gonna starve us out. Right. You gotta chew that.
In your mind, in your
Chew on
spirit.
that. You know.
Right, because when you read that, your mind should be, okay, what does the Lord want me to get from you? Oh, I can trust Him. Well, if that's the case, that should knock out all your worries that you have one day at a time, because it's only one day at a time. Evil is sufficient enough for one day. So, in the spirit, you really got to grab it and live it. That's walking with Yahweh Shalom Shah. You talk about walking with God, that's walking with Him. He's in you. It's real. That connection is there. It ain't fake. It ain't lip service.
Say, "Eat my body,
Yeah.
drink my blood,
Right.
ingest this word."
Right.
Eat the whole world.
Right. Real quick. Psalms 37 and 19. "They shall not be ashamed in an evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied." See that? So you can't just let that slide. Go ahead. No, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? People certain the lessons you listen to, you just doing it on the fly. Some things in that lesson be saying, you gotta bowl on that, man.
Right. You got to. Yep. Right. Yep.
Chew it, ingest it.
Right.
So read that again.
Hebrews 2 and 1, "Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip."
Now read it in the NLT.
It's in the NLT, Hebrews 2 and 1. "So so we must listen very carefully to the truth we have heard, or we may drift away from it.
Drift away from it, man. And this is what's going to happen to a lot of you Israelites. Because you hear from the gimmicks, you hear to see the next debate, you hear from the board's eye, then you're going to go 2 hours without food and fold.
Right.
They don't even have food for 2 hours. Because you didn't believe in provision. See, provision, before, all right, the Lord already has things set up. All right, that's particular jobs, that's particular situations the Lord will take from us, families, whatever. And you will have to be rooted and believe because He got something greater for you. Galvanize them. The first chapter, what does it do? It establishes Yahweh Shah's preeminence. You know what I'm saying? And then what did he just say? He said, read it in the NLT again.
Hebrews 2:1 in the NLT. So we must listen very carefully to the truth we have heard, or we may drift away from it.
Right. So you don't want to drift away from the truth you heard. You want to be rooted in that truth. You're going to need faith. Faith is going to be supreme over a gimmick. Over being the top guy, over this, over that. Faith is going to be the top money on the planet Earth, currency. Because the physical money, you ain't going to have access to it. So what's going to be the supreme currency in that day is wisdom.
Right. Occupying prophecies. Right. What you talking about.
Right.
Think about it too, man. That fear is the root. To be rooted, that faith is to stand like a tree standing. So when a storm comes, yes, your faith got to be intact.
I thought he was going to go to the wreck. Nigga somewhere in the worst condition. Nigga stuck in the washing.
That might be a little small thing.
Right.
They got selling Chick-fil-A. Damn.
Half off a chick.
Hey. Some more.
It says, the message the Most High delivered through angels has always stood firm, and every violation of the law and every act of disobedience was punished.
Right, this is why we need Yahweh Shah. So to go back into the law, you basically doing away with the covering that comes to Yahweh Shah, man. You see that? That power. Because he rose. The resurrection is real, man. Okay?
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, and verse 3. And it reads, Blessed be the God, the power and Father of our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope.
He begot us again. See what I'm saying? To a lively hope, man. You know what I'm saying? And as it says in Ephesians, what's that in Ephesians, the first chapter? Sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. Go ahead.
God.
Read that again.
God. Verse 3. Blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, which according to his abundant mercy
Mercy.
have begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach
There you go. By the resurrection of Yahweh Shah. Now you have hope. What did you have before this trip? Hope of making it to the league. Hope that somebody go buy you. Hope to get it. Hope for some vanity, vain. Something that really held no weight. We thought that having sex with a whole bunch of women made you a man. Well, that was a horrible. Now you got wisdom. You got particular. What was your hope before you woke up to this truth, man? To get a six-pack? You know what I'm saying? To be famous. But now he's awakened us to a lively hope to where we are hoping for an actual kingdom here on earth. Where wisdom will be the standard of the whole earth. And you will be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, ushering it out. Right. That's a lively hope right there, man. And to a nigga that's, not rooted, that don't mean nothing. It's impossible. He doesn't think that the world will ever not be ran by the white man. See, a guy like Anton Daniels, he really believes the white man is okay. None.
All his hope was worldly, and what he can continue in this world. He saw his world. When you go into the law of God, he goes right into wisdom. Wisdom Solomon talks about how she is lively. So that lively hope is that he's giving us wisdom, even in captivity, for us to survive, to be stable. That wisdom, that lively hope is stable.
Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our time. So when this world starts to collapse, these people ain't gonna know what to do. They believe in the Republicans. Esau getting ready to do it with all of them. And then it's going to be the technocracy. Now you got, I was looking at, I keep bringing him up, Anton, he's trying to justify the AI movement. He's trying to say that there was one point where people didn't say it with cell phones. There was one point people spoke against computers. All y'all doing is yapping and yapping. When it comes, y'all going to have to merge with it. That's what he said. No hope. We have a hope of victory over that, man. Because we know what it really represents. It sounds good, but do you think that devil is going to use that technology to help humanity? No. He's going to use it to spy on your ass and enslave you with a digital enslavement. Think about digital currency. So he can spy on your ass and basically lock you out of the system if you don't rely on his policies and ideologies, if you don't bow to his image. And these things, what John the Revelator saw, that's the power of the word, man. John saw the very days we're living in, and you got Israelites that are reluctant to talk about it. And all this AI and everything we see, you don't think the scriptures will warn you of it? Something that heavy, man. And it's not no low-level power. This devil has been blessed with serious demonic, satanic power, man. And he's trying to use it to exalt himself over the Most High and X out his son. So what you gonna do? You're gonna have to rely on faith.
First Peter chapter 1 and verse 11 in the NLT. Right. They wondered, I'll start at verse 10. This salvation was something even the prophets wanted to know more about when they prophesied about this gracious salvation prepared for you. They wondered what time or situation the Spirit of Yahweh Shai within them was talking about when he told them in advance about Yahweh Shai's sufferings and his great glory afterward. They were told that their messages were not for themselves, but for you.
Us, for down the line. And they died standing on the faith, knowing that, it wasn't going to come in their time. Right. Because they believed it. They believed it was going to be raised back up. Okay? Even when you read the book of Maccabees, the woman with the 7 sons, the reason what does she keep talking about? The fact that I'm going to be raised up again.
Yeah.
So those great sacrifices that our forefathers and great foremothers, endured for us in this time, even if this ain't the end, which we believe it is, we believe it's going to happen in our lifetime. But let's say it ain't. What legacy are you going to leave behind in this world to wake back up to? You believe in regeneration, reincarnation. So when you come back, what legacy are you going to be born back into? That was the mindset the prophets had, man. Go ahead.
If I can add, and that's the mindset mindset that the elites are in.
Yep.
They're trying to set themselves up to, okay, because they understand and believe in reincarnation. So they want to come back, set up, where they already got the end to the old establishment. How much more for you, Jakes, man?
Right.
With all these things pertaining to us,
Trump, all of them, they were born in like, some of them born in the 40s, you know what I'm saying, 50s, so they remember the small hats going into that land, you know what I'm saying, the boomers, the baby boomers, they really want to reestablish themselves and bring about, because this NWO is like something that's a small elite generation. And now they're at the point where like this is it, this is time.
going back, 1 Peter 1:12.
Trump was a boomer. Go ahead.
God, 1 Peter 1:12 again. In the NLT, they were told that their messages were not for themselves, but for you. And now this good news has been announced to you by those who preach in the power of the Holy Spirit sent from heaven. It is all so wonderful that even the angels are eagerly watching these things happen.
Power is sent from heaven.
Angels ain't even marveling at what we're doing. Like they're literally in those bodies doing that.
Yeah.
The angels looking like, wow. When you about to get some box, they fly off. But they watching, you know what I'm saying? The angels watching over us, you know what I'm saying? And they're marveling at this group. Like, how are they doing that in that body?
Right. It's like they know how low we are. They have the full vision. They have the full light within themselves. So they can see how low we are. So it's like to send that power down to us and it actually is working with our bodies in real time. This is something else. Because the world is all out wicked, especially this time. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
2026 is going to be wild, man. You see how fast 2025 went by? That was the Lord. Because look how much hell came with it. So the Lord had it go by real fast, man. And look how fast it's getting ready to be 2026. Because the Lord said that he would do that. He said, I'm going to speed up the days. He said, the elect, all going to be subject to death.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been bowling on it, just looking at, hearing about things as a death. It's just everywhere. And it's just not natural. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? It's not cute to witness all of this death. And we're trying to claw our way back to immortality, man, through this word, because, man, sin ruined everything. The sting of sin, we're living and witnessing the sting of sin every day. And it's like, wow, so the sacrifice of Yahweh Shah, that means everything, man. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 1:14 says, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation?
Right. The angels are working on behalf of the elect. They keep you, the scriptures say they keep you in the right mindset. There's particular guardian angels really assigned to you to keep you in the right path, man, to separate you from this demonic world. Like Noah, there was an angel guy in his mind to build that, it's right, to keep him in the right path. That's right.
That's right. And that angel was working with him through wisdom. He was giving that wisdom. And he was able to know what to do. He had the wisdom to guide the animals, to know, come on,
He
man.
knew the difference between clean animal and unclean animal. Right. And wisdom was able to forward the world through that label.
Yeah, that's right.
But now ultimately we're going to be rendered in the latter days in the same mindset. Because this world is full of darkness. So the Lord left a remnant that's going to be responsible for righteously and continuing to the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be on earth. Right? And we can't wait to see a world full of wisdom. Right? With righteousness. You know what I'm saying? That's the fight. To see righteousness actually dwell here on earth. That's out of sight. And be a standard of humanity.
Because the whole vibe, it's going to be totally a different world. Not just the physical, the spirit is going to be totally something else.
Right. You got heathen with restaurants selling you think it's chicken, but it's raccoons. They get caught left and right. That's horrible. That's madness. It's heathen ain't going to be saved. They're going to be taught by the ones who are saved. Because you can't tell me Elam will be on the chair. No, man. Elam needs to be told, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Get your gold now. No, man, no. Stop. Put that down. The heathen needs to be taught righteousness, man. First of all, the elites got to be chained up. Like a guy like Gates, you know what I'm saying? They need chains. Because the power that what they're doing in the earth is too much. They got too much power and they're able to spread wickedness. Look what they did with that jab. Now people are walking around half reptile. They don't know what they got in them. And they just did that. That's a crime against humanity. And they just get to go scot-free. No. Nah, man, the Lord is going to send judgment on them, man. So the heathen ain't going to be a part of the salvation, but the heathen will be taught the right ways. They will be taught between clean and unclean.
This is Jeremiah chapter 33. The point is in verse 9, but I'm going to start at verse 6. I'm getting the NLT again. It says, nevertheless, the time will come when I will heal Jerusalem's wounds and give it prosperity and true peace. I will restore the fortunes of Judah and Israel.
There you go. That's what it's all about. When you're talking about salvation, you got to talk about Judah and Ephraim being reunited, man. The tabernacle of David. Jacob don't want to talk about that. Everything's about heathen. Then you look at the heathen. Where the heathen at? That's the throne of David to be established. Where they at? It's like Jake is wasting all this time talking about heathen, but the heathen don't give a damn.
They ain't advocating for you.
They not advocating for you.
Exactly.
They don't give a damn about you, man. The heathen are gonna, they're gonna know the Most High as we know Him once He returns and glorifies us, man. And we come down on the earth and establish righteousness, man. And that's you know what I'm saying? Although it comes with judgment, it's gonna eventually end well for them, man. They'll never be on our level, but at least you ain't gonna have smog and genetically modified seeds and pedophiles running free and this the Epstein list. They supposedly brought it out, right? And it's empty. Oh, we got a picture of Bill Clinton in a hot tub. So all of these pedos just running free. That's because what? It's a corrupt rulership and power, man. You're not gonna have nothing like that in the kingdom of heaven. See, islands where you're supposed to be having fun, you're doing wickedness. The island is the camp house. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do righteousness on that island. This nigga get an island and torture people. That's the devil, man.
That's an example that's written that we learn from of how well he had it set through wisdom. What wisdom can do.
And she was like,
I mean, they kept bringing the camels and, you know what I'm saying? They getting held up and everybody coming to see King Solomon and his wisdom and everybody's happy in his kingdom. Everybody's at peace in his kingdom. That's what you need when you read the post of vision. That's a peace.
David subdued those heathen. It took bloodshed. Yep. It took judgment to get to peace. Right. We're gonna have peace on earth eventually, but it's gonna come through great judgment. And Jacob don't talk about that. Now that Esau got Palantir, they don't know we didn't get it like that.
2 Peter 3:12, it says, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to His promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's the kingdom of earth. Righteousness is we learn how the laws and statutes and our inward parts, and we're going to teach the other nations, the heathens. All right? Who will not be saved by nothing like the elder just said.
They can be saved when we gonna teach. go. He's gonna rebuild our town, start at the promised land, man. That's why the scriptures refer to Yahweh Shai as the second Adam, because we're gonna return to the garden eastward in Eden and rule in righteousness. Okay? This time to do it in the bodies of the Go ahead.
Verse 8, I will cleanse them of their sins against me and forgive all their sins and rebellion.
That's the second covenant. And what is the somebody get Hebrews 8 too? Go ahead.
Verse 9, then this city will bring me joy, glory, and honor before all the nations of the earth.
There you go. Joy, glory, and honor. It talks about in Revelation 22 that there's going to be water issuing forth from the throne. That's the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And it's going to spread throughout the earth. And see, this is Jacob's blessing because he spread wickedness. He went out into the four corners of the earth and deceived the nations, man. So he spread his rhetoric, his pseudoscience, his destruction, his lies throughout the four corners of the earth. Look what it did. So we're going to show you how to do it in a righteousness, man. Right?
Top of verse 9 again. Then this city will bring me joy, glory, and honor before all the nations of the earth.
For all the nations that have seen. And they will acknowledge that this was better than Esau's. There's going to come a point where they're going to be like, wow, this is way better than Esau's. They're going to say,
The people of the world will see all the good I do for my people, and they will tremble with awe at the peace and prosperity I provide for them.
There you go. There you go. That's what is that?
Jeremiah 33.
That's a beautiful chapter too. Because he just talks about, you know what these people are saying about I'm not going to bring Judah and Ephraim back together. The Lord cast away his people. See that? Go ahead.
It's Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
Right. The first covenant, right, the mediator was what? Moses and Aaron, right? And it was given unto us, and it was told to us in Deuteronomy, if you break it, then you will be under a curse. So we needed a better covenant. We needed an upgraded sacrifice, man. And that came from Yahweh. Go ahead.
Hebrews 8 and 8. Finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said Yahweh but I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
See that? He found fault with them. Now, what was the fault? The flesh. Because, you know, we're under the curse of Adam. Right? Which comes with what? Thoughts, doubt, cravings, appetite of, because we tasted of it. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to struggle to stay away from it. Then he gives you a law that says if you do it, you die. So that put us in bondage. We're in double straits. We're under the curse of Adam, right? And we're under the curse that comes with the penalty of the law. So Yahweh Shai's sacrifice was to free us from that. That's why it was so important. Go ahead.
Yep, this is verse 9. Not according to the covenant that I made with my fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. Because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said Yahweh Shai. Verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days.
House of Israel, which consists of what? Judah and Ephraim, man. Go ahead.
Said Yahweh Shai, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts.
Yep.
And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people.
So we're going to be in body's program to do right. You know what I'm saying? It's imaginable. To be impossible to go on, never hate, never have a craving to do evil. You know what I'm saying? You walking up the street, seen her because she's a man, but she's a woman. She's attractive. And now it's in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't, in that 3 seconds, you didn't thought all kind of freak. You know what I'm saying? Go through that again. You can just be me. That's what God ordained me to be in. He just exists. That's one thing we have never been able to do as the children of Yahweh. Is just be on earth. You gotta have an ID, you gotta have social security, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta go to work, you gotta be on time, you gotta take vitamins, out stress, all this shit. You know, you get with a new woman, you gotta work, you ride hard, you gotta what the hell, man? You know what I'm saying? You go in the bathroom, bite a little blue pill, you come back with a blue tongue. Shit still don't get hard. Damn. That's hell. We were never intended to live like that. But it's natural things. It's just an example. You know what I'm saying? We've been through every scenario as men on this earth. Some brothers get hard their whole life. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers have to struggle with it. It's a mind thing. But the Lord didn't. That's we should supposed to be. We ain't supposed to have to go through that cycle. Man, this is supposed to operate.
And you know, you said because we laugh at the spirit. It's that the mind is way down, so it can't really zone in naturally to like the body pose and just relax. It can't really, because you're so weighed down with the wickedness of this world, bro, and thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, but it's real.
It's real.
Ain't no joke.
Because when you want a woman you're comfortable with, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But this new woman, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? She got spirits on her, you don't know what the hell is going on. Now you got the jab out there, you don't know, they're like, is this motherfucker got AIDS? You don't know what the hell is going on. It's not a peaceful environment. Now you've been opened up to wickedness, now everything is overthinking. You know, it's like shit. Now some things you just gotta do what you gotta do. You spray up your food, you can't just, everything's tainted, but this life comes with a hell that is just becoming draining. And it's all rooted in sin. Right? Okay? The families divided, it's no peace nowhere. And see, the kingdom of heaven offers us peace. It offers us the ability to just operate as men and women on earth. Right?
How can the Lord show us the opposite? If we don't have it like this.
We gotta have it like this.
The harvest of wickedness has to be right in the earth to show that dramatic difference. The wickedness has to grow, and we have to be here and deal with it and have that hope. That's why it's important to keep it in our hope, because we were meant to be in this position of sin. You gotta understand that. The Lord ain't confused.
Nah.
All right, look at the way He designed this to be.
Before you bring that up, bring
This Hebrews chapter 8, verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know ye how much y'all was shot.
We're not gonna have to tell other Israelites to put down crack. You're an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Adultery is bad. Because that was the duty of a priest, to teach the children of Israel the difference between clean and unclean. What the Heavenly Father deems righteous, what He deems good, what He deems bad. We never gonna have to do that amongst the 12 tribes of Israel no more.
Period. That's right. You got a gold crown. Gold string. You should have heard this shit. That's my shit.
Hell no.
Come on.
Who ate my spaghetti?
I got you slam this and slam it in this. Get a staff on the ground.
You going up, huh?
Nah, it ain't gonna happen.
But Jake wants to then now add heathen into that. So who we gonna teach?
Oh, stupid.
Who we gonna be preached to if we ain't gotta teach Israelites no more?
For all shall know me from the least to the greatest.
And that's gonna be ranked. Not every Israelite is gonna be, on the same level. We'll all have the new bodies. We'll all be in the new covenant. But you're gonna have a hierarchy. The 12, the 144, the Yahweh Shai. there's a large multitude. They're going to be higher in rank above everybody else. All right, but the rest of Israel, hey, even them, when they come back and they're going to be born into the new covenant. So you're not going to have to tell him when he grow up, all right, this, you know what I'm saying? This is good, this is bad. You know, it's going to be automatically in every Israelite to do what is right.
And you know, it's funny, like even in this world, right? You see a little smart kid. You're like, man, this kid advanced. He too, but he talking.
Right.
You're like, man, how do you know all this? But the kingdom, a kid growing up, a new baby,
He's going to be playing with
he
snakes.
just in it, like it's like naturally. Like,
The cobra ain't going to be biting them.
come on, man.
You ain't gonna be worried. You see your newborn around a cat. You're scared. You know what I'm saying? In the kingdom, they're gonna be lead lions.
That's right.
Daddy, look at that lion.
This is how a whole family aligns.
You see what I'm saying? You don't see your child for a year. You ain't worried. You ain't worried. He gonna come back. You see him 18 years later. He on the level. He got family.
Bringing you gifts.
You know what I'm saying? Here, you gonna see that nigga 18 years later, he on ESPN, biological and bothered. You know? My mom did it, you know? It's the same old story. Hell, man. We ain't gonna have that type of hell in the kingdom of heaven.
Hey man, even traveling is gonna be traveling in your own chariot. You hop up on one family, you can zap and go to another family. It's not being
No passport.
no right. No traffic, man.
A passport is a holdup. An ID is, you can't exist. You can't just be in this man's system. So the kingdom of heaven is gonna be free from all of this madness, man. That's why Ezra said, "Oh Adam, what hast thou done?" Not only did you suffer for what you did, but we also that have come of thee. And that's speaking of the holy seed. Yeah, all humanity has fallen through the fall of Adam, but it's really fixated on the holy seed that came through Seth, through Noah, through Shem, through fact, all the way to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the seed that the Bible is fixated on. Okay?
This is Ezekiel 20 and 40 in the NLT. For on my holy mountain, the great mountain of Israel, says the sovereign Lord, the people of Israel will someday worship me, and I will accept them. There I will require that you bring me all your offerings and choice gifts and sacrifices. When I bring you home from exile, you will be like a pleasing sacrifice to me, and I will display my holiness through you as all the nations watch.
As all the nations watch. They ain't gonna be over there with us. And then we gonna find out Hassan was a Jew. He was a small hat the whole time. Put your ass in slavery.
Now, as they watch, check this out. So while the heathen are watching, okay, in their mortal bodies, not immortal, in their mortal bodies,
Right, because they're gonna have to get taught.
right. Second Esdras chapter 2, verse 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, says the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Right, so they're gonna be watching, they're gonna envy. Why are they watching? Meaning they're gonna be envying our possessions, our bodies, our spirits, the whole thing, our peace, all that, man.
Right.
Okay, our gold streets, they're gonna have to lay. Okay, all our castles that we're gonna be in, that's gonna be way beyond any house you've ever seen in your life. Okay, look at the Rothschilds' biggest mansions. That's laughable compared to what we're gonna do.
Checked out. All those places in Germany. We're gonna be cleaning all of that. We're gonna get all of the concrete up. We're gonna tear down all of those, those palaces. And it's gonna be built up, and even it's gonna be built up with wisdom this time. Because all you look at the world in some of the places is decked out. But ultimately, imagine what wisdom is built back up on wisdom. Because that's the 1,000-year period where under Yahweh Shai, the first four spirits laying it down,
That's
basically
right, laying it
putting
down.
everything back in its proper order, because who knows better than them?
Right.
Because Esau came into the earth and he'll take an animal that don't belong in a certain area and put it there anyway. We know this tree don't belong. There's certain trees that don't belong. You don't put a frankincense tree in America. You know what I'm saying? Right. Esau tried to do it. Frankincense trees belong in the deep east. You know what I'm saying? There's only certain places that's supposed to be pigs that supposed to be in the certain parts of the earth. But Esau, he don't give a damn. Bees ain't the only pollinators, but when you kill all of the pollinators, everything, these things start to die. Because pollen is basically the sperm of the male flower. Those particular animals that look like the fur to basically carry the sperm, the pollen, to the next plant so things bud. Esau doesn't think. He'll just kill everything. And I'm going to just make synthetic pollinators. It's a bunch of different pollinators, but everything's in dying, everything's destitute. Because this man is not operating on earth, they're going to operate wisdom. So they're going to know where everything belongs. All right? Everything. And that's how Solomon had gold. Like you see gravel in the streets. That was gold in Solomon's kingdom. It was nothing to see gold. You see gold now, you're like, oh my God, it's gold. In Solomon's kingdom, that was like
Gold plates, gold silver, gold everything. Go ahead.
You don't think nothing of it when you see mulch.
right.
It's like it's mulch.
Right.
That's
That's what he has for first. To his law. Wisdom. That please Yahweh, right? For him to say, I want wisdom. It's okay, well, she's special wisdom and not long life, not your enemies, etc., etc. I'm going to go ahead and add these things to you. You got to connect that with seek the Lord and let everything be added for us now. You got to think, you got to remember that.
There's a lot of Jake that just all they talk about is getting a whole bunch of women in the kingdom. That's what comes with the territory.
It's way more to do.
It's way more to do. It's a low level thought. You just get all kind of pussy.
that's somebody that's not paying attention. Because we got all this knowledge and you see all the wickedness that's going on. You ain't think that ain't the woman at the top thing you're thinking. You're thinking about setting the work back in the
Because even that fine, and the women gonna be fine,
They're gonna be beautiful.
even that long hair on the floor, you know what I'm saying? She's gonna be beautiful, right? But even she came from wisdom. So you gotta use wisdom. Even she came from wisdom herself.
That's our wisdom. Bring it to a kingdom. They're gonna be made right through this word going out. Everything that we're doing, as the scriptures say, the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. So everything is, everything wins. Start with the elect off of this word, man.
That's right. That's right.
You know? Yep.
It says, Jerusalem, take off the clothes you have worn in your mourning and distress, and put on the eternal splendor of the Most High's glory. Put around you the cloak of the Most High's righteousness. Place on your head.
That's that armor. That's our glory. Put it on. When you put it on, you are basically in that relationship. And close to it. They ain't just words. You know, like wisdom ain't just a word. You gotta stop thinking it's a word. No, you gotta feel this, not just talk about it. You gotta feel it because it's a feeling. All right, go ahead.
Place on your head the crown of the glory of the eternal power.
Now, how do you do that? What is a crown of the Lord? It's a crown of wisdom. When you fear him, you're close to him, so now he can crown you. Now he can pour into you. You got to put yourself in position to be poured into. You don't just get poured in because you want, because I want to be poured into. No, you gotta do something, man. That first step to be accepted, right? Now you're close. When you're close to somebody, now they put that crown in your head. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
It says the Most High will show your splendor to every nation on earth.
That's that light. Now he can fill you up, a fountain of wisdom. Now you're shining bright. Now all the nations gonna see what? All the Israelites shining. Because we're gonna be full of light at 100%. It's never gonna go down. Ain't 99, 98, no. It's gonna always be on 100. The sun will never go down, even though the sun gonna go down. If you don't receive it,
Ain't gonna be no
ain't
off day.
gonna be no
Ain't gonna be no off day. I ain't feeling today.
Never, never, man. So you gotta understand that's knowing. That's what we glory in. That's knowing the Lord. He's gonna show the heathen that no, these are my children. They know me. I'm in them. And if you want to know me, you gotta listen to them. You see? Like the prophets gotta come talk to Jacob. Guess what? We are gonna be the we are gonna be the priest and king. We are gonna know.
In Michael 4 in 5, it expounds on what you're saying. Because it talks about how we're going to be as gods to the nations.
Right.
So we're going to be the intercessor to the power.
Right. What they say we should get the nobles. They should be down and say, surely God is in thee.
Right.
Well, what did they see?
Right.
They saw a whole new creature from heaven, body from heaven.
Jerusalem coming down from heaven.
Our bodies are not going to be earth no more. But theirs, these heathens, they body from earth. They're going to see it. Even in the physical, that shine. Hey, when Moses came down from the mountain, he came down and had that shine on him. They're like, oh man, they saw that.
Yeah.
Right? But at his highest though. That's what they're going to see. They're going to see supplication. Right? Please don't please. I'm sorry. They're going to say, man, y'all gods for real.
Yeah.
We're going to be bigger. Come on, man. The Lord going to show out.
GNT, the Most High will show your splendor to every nation on earth. Forever he will say to you, clarity comes from your righteousness and your splendor from your devotion to me.
Woo! Somebody part chariots upon every assembly. Isaiah chapter 4. I think at the end. It tells you that upon every assembly of the Israelites, there's going to be a big old chariot that's sitting there, and it says for defense. That's the glory.
Surveillance.
Non-stop. Right. You think I have
Because see, that's what Esau's trying to set up.
Right.
He's trying to set up that type of environment, but through left-hand means.
Yeah, that's right.
See, these are his angels. When you think about Palantir, when you think about the fact that you can run a yellow light, this nigga send you a ticket. That's an angel recording your sin.
Right.
On the left-hand side.
Right.
So what he's trying to do is set up with that type of environment, but on the left-hand side. I got this one. Isaiah 61:9, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, and they are the seed which shall outward bless.
Right. They're going to acknowledge them, and envy within themselves. Wow. They blessed. Man, I wish we had that. Man, I wish we lived forever. Because we still in this mortal body. I just messed up my knee. You know what I'm saying? The damn kite field. You know what I'm saying? The vineyard. My knee's scraped up.
And then another thing that's going to be integrated is the health system. So how they heal themselves. The scriptures talks about the medicine and all of that is going to be up. So they're going to have the breakdown is going to come from us, but they're going to know how to heal themselves based upon what we teach.
Right.
Right.
It's going to actually be healing. There's no healing in this game.
Right. It's a racket. Basically, they use your body as a racket while you're slowly dying. They're just making money off of you in every which way. You know, that's hell, man. The goal is to heal you. Right. But that it takes the proper knowledge. That's another benefit of the kingdom of heaven is that medicine and everything is going to turn back because we're living under a wicked priesthood. So they have their healing practices. And some of the shit works, but it's not left hand. Right. So imagine how much more righteousness
Hey, seeing the herb, knowing what it do, knowing exactly to the T. Okay, why it was created in the first place? Right now, you want to buy medicine every day. You want to buy medicine is
right now.
Like, damn, my head hurt. Medicine, there's a little herb, knock that headache out.
Them trees.
You don't even know.
Right, because his medicine basically it tricks your body into saying you don't have a headache.
Right.
So it shuts that, blocks a pathway.
It's a block.
It's witchcraft. But the shit you take, it works.
Yeah. It pushes the symptoms down the line.
Right. Yep.
But it's not gone.
Right.
It just pushes it down. And while it's pushing the symptoms down, it's causing other problems. That's why you watch those commercials of people jogging in the park. Side effects may be diarrhea.
It'd be quick. Yeah. Like that should be the biggest part of the commercial. What? Taking that?
You can't patent a willow bark tree, right?
Right.
But if you take the element in there that actually
That's how
works,
wicked
and
you
then
is.
you mix it with your shit, then you make what you call a pill.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you can patent that and put your name on it. And you look and see what that tree is causing us problems. Very dirty game.
And then when they patent it, they can say, well, this tree is an ingredient to our product. So you weaken over here.
Dehumanizing. You know? And this is why the Lord is getting ready to get them up out of the picture. So we ain't here with the message. You know, he said, no, they're gonna be stopped. They gotta be stopped. Okay, especially the elites. You know, because a regular Edomite you see, they don't pose the threat that a Bill Gates or one of the, pose, but still they all gotta be stopped. You know what I'm saying? Just like in Egypt, it said That's why let's finish up with Isaiah 24. Where the elite's gonna be putting chains.
Isaiah
I love that.
Isaiah chapter 24.
Start at the part where we talk about the earth. Okay. Real into it.
Isaiah 24:20.
Right.
The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage.
That's at the fall of Babylon. Babylon falls. That's the end to all of the madness we're talking about. And the madness goes deep. We can't, and we'll be here all night. Go ahead.
And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
It ain't gonna rise again.
Verse 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh Bashmashah shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high.
The host of the high ones that are on high, the elites. You know what I'm saying? The gods of this world, man. That are sitting in line.
It says, and the kings of the earth on the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the.
Them niggas go to jail. Read that again.
Isaiah 24:22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited.
We're gonna put them niggas under the jail. Now they throw the boogie jail.
Right.
We're gonna throw the boogie there.
Right. We gonna know who was on the Epstein list, so we gonna come down with a new body. You thought you got it later. The Lord they gave them enough money to get the bunker. You know, and they down there. We're always looking at this one dude has 500 years worth of food.
It is a hell like starving.
Come back.
It's Africa.
500 years worth of food.
I can't even see that.
So they're gonna be down there. That just shows you how much money they got. So they're gonna be down there after the destruction. They're gonna all scurry, and they're gonna be in there pressing buttons, trying to fight against the Lord. So when we come back down, those are the first. They gotta go to jail. They got to be locked up because their crimes against humanity are really bad. It's bad. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom. Woo. Yeah, that nigga, you gotta light that nigga up.
Yeah.